Alrighty then. What do you say? What do you know? Another day at the show trial. This is nothing more than a Soviet era show trial. First comes conviction, then we make up the charges. You know, it's like remember the movie Groundhog Day, where Bill Murray wakes up and every day he wakes up and it's exactly the same day? Well, it's like the Democrats are stuck in Groundhog Day when they're remaking Chinatown. Because first it was Russia, it was Ukraine, it was Russia, it was Ukraine. And now it was collusion, it was quid pro quo, it was collusion, it was bribery. Now they're on to bribery. Why? Oh, bribery polled better. And bribery is actually in the Constitution. Hey, Chuck, did you know that? Bribery's in the Constitution. We can impeach him on bribery, Chuck. It's in the Constitution. It's really in there. It says bribery and other crimes, treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors. We can do it, Chuck. We can do it. Telling you, two smartest people in the House, two smartest people in the House, because Congress, of course, is the House and the Senate. Two smartest people in the House, Nancy Pelosi and Humpty Lumpty. No Nadler's been nowhere to be found. He's missing in action. Shifty Schiff. He's a little man sitting in the big chair. You can tell. You see, somebody said, why is his chair bigger than everybody else's chair? Well, it's because he's the chairman. You go to any committee meeting, you go to any corporate board, you go to the cabinet room. The president's chair is the tallest in the cabinet room. The chairman's chair is the tallest in any corporate board. Anytime you've got a board setting, the chairman always has the biggest chair. It's just that bobble-headed, bug-eyed freak is such a lumping little troll that it looks like he's, sitting in a chair that's 3 sizes too big. If anybody else were sitting in the chair, you wouldn't notice how big the chair was. It's just all you see is, his pencil neck and then this massive Charlie Brown bobblehead. And as a friend said, he's sitting there like a 6-year-old girl on picture day. Doesn't look around, just looks straight ahead. Bug-eyed bobblehead. And, not a good look. Can you just imagine if Jim Jordan or Mark Meadows or any Republican were gaveling down a Democrat member like he gavelled down Elise Stefanik today? And brilliant politics by the Republicans, because it was a total setup. Anybody else could have asked those questions, but they specifically had Elise do it. And Elise has been co-chair of the Tuesday group, which is the moderate group in the House, moderate Republicans, because pretty much to get elected here in the Northeast, you've got to run as a moderate. My erstwhile Congresswoman, she only served one term because she got caught up in the wave last time. Claudia Tenney was bold, and she signed right on to the Freedom Caucus. She would sign the letters. She was outspoken. She was definitely a conservative. But generally, to be elected here in the Northeast as a Republican, you've got to be a moderate. Bill Weld, Charlie Baker in Boston. These people aren't conservatives. They're Republicans. They're not conservatives. The big mistake that people make is thinking that the Republican Party is a conservative party. It's not. It's just the only party where conservatives can have a home. The Republican Party, by and large, is not a conservative party, never has been. Actually started out as a radical party because don't ever forget why it was founded. It was founded to end slavery. That's right, because slavery was a Democrat Party institution. KKK was a Democrat Party organization. Jim Crow were Democrat Party laws. It was the Democrats who kept women from voting. It was the Republicans who gave women the vote. Oh, but the parties flipped. Yeah, no, they didn't. That's another big lie that they like to tell. Basically anytime they're opening their mouth, they're lying. And today was just if I didn't loathe them so much for their hypocrisy, and see, here's the thing, it's not their policies which cause me to loathe them, it's their hypocrisy. Their smug, supercilious, self-important hypocrisy. They act like they've got the moral high ground when all they're doing is accusing their opponents of the crimes they've actually committed. And they sit there all smug. It's like, oh, yo, you're so awful for having done that. It's like, yeah, well, you did that. That wasn't us. That was you. And it's all going to come out. I am a little bit on, I wouldn't say on edge. I'm a little bit, I'm not even going to say apprehensive, but I'm a little bit ready to be disappointed. Let's put it that way. That best describes my mental state. I'm a little bit ready to be extremely disappointed because the only way, remember, I say the only, things have to make sense to me, right? And that's why the only thing that makes sense for having no Nadsler out of the way is that he realizes this whole shift show is a shit show and he wants no part of it. Same with Nancy. It's like, oh, you want your impeachment inquiry? There you go. So the only way I can make sense of the president having an animated meeting in the Oval yesterday with Bill Barr, which caused him to be 45 minutes late getting to Andrews, getting to his rally in Louisiana. And photographers with their long lens were out there, and they described it as an animated conversation. The only thing I can come up with that he would be animated is if Barr told him that Horowitz did make criminal referrals, but that they were not going to act on them like they didn't act on them with Comey. And if that was the reason for the president's animation, because he went in and spoke with Mick Mulvaney in the presidential library, down the little side hall off to the left of the Oval, as you're looking from the Resolute desk. More on that in a minute. The only thing that makes sense is if he had gotten some bad news, and what bad news could he have been given, right? With regard to the Resolute desk, what have we not yet seen from the president yet? That's correct. We've not yet seen him address the nation and the world from behind the Resolute desk, which is the single greatest imagery of the power of the presidency. It's like getting off of Air Force One in a foreign country, sitting behind the Resolute desk. Those are symbols of presidential power. But every time he has addressed the nation, it's either been in the Rose Garden, on a press line, at the diplomatic reception room, or at the East Room. Okay, walking down the long hallway to the East Room. We have yet to see him address the nation from behind the Resolute desk. I think he's holding that as the ace up his sleeve. Again, not disappointed, not doom and glooming, but I'm getting ready to be disappointed because this whole thing better not go sideways. We better see justice, or else I'm very afraid that people are going to start taking matters into their own hands, and I would hate to see that happen because that's not the way things should happen. But, and as we knew yesterday, we were all talking about it. As day follows night, they had to have a school shooting to distract from everything. And oh yeah, today the shooter died, just as was scripted. Yeah, he didn't survive after all. How about that? Yeah, he did die from that self-inflicted wound. So yeah, he's in the Jeffrey Epstein suite now. Isn't that convenient? Obviously, these things are horrific, and I'm not joking about it. It's just, it's exasperation more than anything else because it is so freaking predictable. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks. They're going to need a distraction. I hope we don't have another school shooting. Well, they needed a distraction, and what did we have? We had another school shooting. I mean, these people are absolutely evil. With regard to Roger Stone, McCabe skates, Comey, it looks like McCabe's going to skate, Comey skates, Hillary skates, everybody, all Democrats lie to Congress. Under oath, they lie to Congress, and nothing happens to them. And Roger Stone gets convicted on all 7 counts. Are you kidding me? We're going to see an appeal. I expect it's going to be overturned on appeal, not having anything to do with the factual findings of the court, but because Roger Stone's rights were violated because he did not have a jury of his peers. The Obama appointed judge allowed DOJ employee jurors. No, they should have been recused. That is a clear conflict of interest. Okay, you had the DOJ, you had the FBI is part of the charges against him. That is a violation of his constitutional rights. It's going to be overturned on appeal. If it isn't, I said, people were all upset about the president's tweet today because the president tweeted about the ambassador, and we had, the greatest piece of testimony today was 30 seconds. Do you have any evidence of the president taking a bribe? No. Do you have any evidence of the president being involved in any criminal activity whatsoever? No. Boom. End of story. Let's get out of here. This whole thing's a shit show. It's a show trial. It is an impeachment inquiry in search of a crime, just like the Mueller investigation was an investigation in search of a non-existent crime. Okay, but all these Trump must be guilty because all of his associates have been indicted. That's why Roger Stone was found guilty today, so that they could say, Trump must be guilty because all of his associates have been indicted. Manafort and Stone, and these are all process crimes. These are nothing. These are the hypocrisy crimes. I call them the hypocrisy crimes. This is why you never say anything to a police officer ever. It is against the law for you to even omit a piece of information if you're talking to a cop or a federal agent. It is not against the law for them to lie to us. People were all upset. How could Schiff sit up there and lie? How can he say to Jim Jordan on Wednesday, yeah, it's an incorrect statement, I do not know the name of the whistleblower, which is a blatant lie and everybody knows it's a lie. How can he get away with that lie? Because Congress members have immunity. They have immunity from criminal prosecution for anything that they do in the role of their office, unless they violate their oath of office, unless they're taking bribes or they're doing something like Elijah Cummings did. Which again, why did Elijah Cummings skate? He finally got his justice. He's there with John McCain now. More on John McCain in a minute. But why do they always get away with it and we always get charged? Two-tier justice in America. It's pathetic. And yet, the left is screaming that there's a two-tier justice system because Stone was allowed to walk out of the courtroom. He wasn't taken down in shackles because, in a white-collar crime like this, you're allowed to go home and get your affairs in order and everything else until sentencing. And he won't be sentenced until February. And they're screaming that that is a two-tier justice system. It's like, no, you pathetic hypocrites. The two-tier justice system is the fact that you people lie to Congress and get away with it. You people commit felonies. You people commit embezzlement. You people commit sedition and get away with it. And yet, if a Republican does anything, they're sent to prison. It's total BS. And people are sick of it. And things better change soon. They just better. That's all I'm going to say. Now, with regard to John McCain, why did I bring up McCaint? Well, because Fat Meghan had to open her gob and she got served. She tweeted to Roger Stone. Roger Stone brought it on himself. He said, burn in hell when John McCain died. And so Meghan McAint tweeted the article about Stone being convicted on all 7 counts. And she said, may you rot in hell. But she just opened herself up for a slew of hate. And go check that tweet and check the comments. If you want your faith restored in humanity, go read the comments in that thread. They're absolutely hysterical. There was one guy, Doug Apple, who was great. And somebody said, what a hateful thing to say, because he said something like, oh, so he can say hello to your father. And somebody came back, and this person was, a typical leftist looking freak, 48 years old with a hideous haircut and bangs, straight across bangs and just looking like a total freak. And she said, that's terrible. And he just came back with, so are bangs. Whether you like bangs or not, that's irrelevant. The fact is, it was just such a bam. So if you want your faith in humanity restored, go look at that thread. And here's the best one, I think. Cassandra Fairbanks, she put together a video, or she was given a video, and she tweeted a video of all of Meghan McAint's qualifications. Here they are in 38 seconds. All of Meghan McAint's qualifications to do anything in 38 seconds.
My father, my father, my father's my father. I mean, my father, 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 my father's my father, 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 my father's my father, my father, my father's my father, my father, my father, my father's my father, my father's my father, 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 and my father, my father. My father,
you know, and that is it in a nutshell. Just like how did Chelsea Clinton get her first job? Was $900,000 working for NBC. How did she get a $900,000 job as her first job? Doesn't everybody get a $900,000 a year job as their first job straight out of college with no experience in anything? How did Hunter get paid $83,000 per month from Burisma? How did he get a $1.5 billion deal with the Chinese in 2 hours? How did he get anything? It's unbelievable, the corruption of these people. Book deals are not book deals. They're just money laundering devices. They're just ways to money launder to them. That's why they get these books. It's how they launder money. Remember what I told you. They get a huge advance. And now an advance is supposed to be an advance against sales. Well, their stupid minions buy these books. Like when Donald Trump's book hits #1, that's organic. That's because everybody went out. Laura went and bought 6 books. And she went to the event and got them all signed by him. People went out and bought these books. People do buy the Democrat books. They're mindless minions. The suckers buy the books. But who's going to pay full price when you've got Hillary signing them in Costco for free? Laura paid $250 to be with Donald Trump and have a picture taken, you know, Don Jr. and Kimberly, and have a picture taken and get the book signed. Hillary's doing it in Costco for free? From the discount bin? What? So how do they justify the big advance? Institutional sales. And what are institutional sales? Well, Russia, and you know, I can't believe Heidi Stevens, who I know here works for the Syracuse newspapers, and she said the Clintons never got any money from the Clinton Foundation. BS, because here's how it works. Russia, well, first of all, Russia gave Bill $500,000 for a speech. Goes to the Clinton Fund. Russia gave $150 million to the Clinton Foundation. Other foreign entities give money to the Clinton Foundation. Okay, so now the Clinton Foundation has this big pile of money. And then they get a publishing house to give them a massive advance on this book that nobody wants to buy, and Hillary can't even get people at Costco to show up to sign. So how do they get the money? Institutional sales. The Clinton Foundation buys bulk sales of the book. So what functionally has happened? Money from Russia goes to the Clinton Foundation, goes to the publishing house to buy the book to repay the advance, which is in the Clintons' pockets. It's legal money laundering. So for people like Heidi Stevens and others who say the Clintons never profited, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wake up. You cannot be that stupid, and I know you're not that dishonest. You must be asleep. Wake up. All right? That's all I've got for you tonight. Until next time, God bless you. God bless these United States. Keep fighting the good fight.